Ladies and gentlemen, this YouTube channel vlog show is of authenticity, inspiration, and realness. It is also about personality, good times, and fun. This is Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And now, here is your host of the show, Mr. Big Beefy E himself, the elder statesman of Rant and Rave, and Mr. Shenanigans himself, Eric M. Lima. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima's Shenanigans of 1977, episode 987. I hope we like the new intro. I decided to make the new intro today. There's going to be a new outro as well. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful, blessed night. November the 7th, 2023, 10:11 p.m. And we're going to be talking about what happened on just recently on NXT. So, how is the history of the British Rounds rules are? Because the Heritage Cup title was on the line. Noam Dar took on a member of the Alpha Academy, Akira Tozawa. Match consisted of 6 3-minute rounds, 20-second breaks within each round, 2 out of 3 falls. Falls can be won by pinfall, submission, or countout. Once a fall occurs, the round ends. The match ends once the wrestler has 2 rounds. In the event of disqualification or knockout, the match instantly ends without the need for 2 falls. If all 6 rounds are completed, whoever's ahead on falls wins the match, and should there be a tie, the champion retains. So that is how it is. So, what happened in round 1? Nobody won. Round 2, Noam Dar picks up the first fall. Round 3, nobody won that one. Round 4, Tozawa evens it up by beating Dar by submission. And round 5, Noam Dar picks up the victory. Hence, he retains the Heritage Cup Championship. Meanwhile, Oro Mensah, who did end up getting involved in the matchup, along with Metaphor and Alpha Academy, it seems like everybody was running around. They ended up dealing with Oro Mensah. And ended up squishing him in the process thanks to Otis. So, yeah, forgive me, I just scratched my back. Mick Foley, Jerry King Lawler, Lita, and JBL are chosen to pick the qualifying matches for the Iron Survivor. And Lita will be on the clock next week, from what I'm told. So, a little bit more on that. He chose Tiffany Stratton going one-on-one with Fallon Henley. And he chose Dijak and Tyler Bate for the qualifier matches. More on those matches as we come along. The women's locker room, Keilani Jordan was talking with Carmen Petrovic and Ariana Grace about the women's breakout tournament. And they were interrupted by Elektra Lopez and Lola Vice. And then Roxanne Perez came in and stood up for Keilani Jordan and knows what things are too. A little words in Spanish exchange between Roxanne and Lola Vice. So that would be very interesting. So, Lara Valkyria came out to address the NXT universe as the new women's champion. And she was talking about her match against Becky Lynch. But as she was talking, Xia Li made an appearance on NXT. Got into Lara Valkyria's face. He says, "I'm going to take that title." And he says, "Oh yeah, in fact, she reminded Lara Valkyria, "You see what I did to your hero?" And then ended up knocking out one of the security guards with that kick last night. I wonder if she ran into Boa, Xia Li. I don't know. Revived Tiancha? I don't know. But Xia Li was there last night. Meanwhile, Tyler Bate says he's sick and tired of relying on his past when he was the first ever NXT UK champion. He says he wants to be a champion now, and he was ready to face Dijak. Meanwhile, Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen were pep talking Fallon Henley for the Iron Survivor qualifier, and then they asked her, "Do you need help?" "No, I'm gonna handle this on my own." Tiffany Stratton's about had enough. Meanwhile, Alpha Academy consultant Tozawa again, while Drew Gulak and his crew of Charlie Dempsey, Miles Bourne, and Damon Kemp were talking, interrupting, and disrespecting. And then Otis is like, "How about you and I go at it tonight?" So Gulak goes, "Fine." And then Adrian Butler, who came out of HBK's office, says he talked about the discretion of Val. He said when he told me to use, he told the referee he was told to use his discretion. It seems like Braun Breaker and Von Wagner, if they go at it, they must be a winner in this matchup. So that means there'll be no disqualification. Anything goes in this matchup. Meanwhile, the women's Iron Survivor qualifier, Fallon Henley versus Tiffany Stratton and Michael Bombardier. I hate to say this to you, but Tiffany Stratton won the match. I ended up watching NXT. That's what happened. So, yeah, you're going to have to put up with her for another week. And so, then Mackenzie Mitchell interviewed Wes Lee after, and make a comeback. He's got a lot of things on his list to do. One was to beat Dominic Mysterio and get the North American title back. And Baron Corbin, like the jerk that he is, interrupted Wes Lee. Wes Lee goes, "How about I take care of you myself?" That's another thing I write on my list. Yeah, Baron Corbin is an idiot. Baron Corbin can be an idiot, a jerk sometimes. Well, Kelly Kincaid interviewed Braun Breaker, and Braun Breaker says, "I'm concerned. Nah, I'm going to beat the stuffing out of Wagner again, and I'm going to put Mr. Stone in the hospital, too." That's what Braun Breaker basically says, so he's out there and ready. Von Wagner and Braun Breaker, they went at it. No. First of all, Dijak aggressed Tyler Bate. He says he's going to win the Iron Survivor and be one step closer to that championship. But he's got to beat Tyler Bate to qualify for that Iron Survivor challenge. Von Wagner went one-on-one Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker won, but Mr. Stone hit Breaker with a chair. But Von Wagner got the ultimate revenge. He got to the point where Vic Joseph goes, "I don't care about my candy, just put him through a table." He put Braun Breaker through the announcer's table. Crazy that match was. Well, Mackenzie Mitchell interviewed Carmelo Hayes. Says, "I'm going to address the situation with Trick of who attacked Trick and why." So there's that. The Brawling Brutes addresses OTM, as they said they're going to go in a tag match. This is going to be a fight between those two. Brawling Brutes and OTM. OTM consists of Scripps, along with Lucian Price and Bronco Nima. So there's that. Roxanne Perez and Kaylani Jordan went up against Elektra Lopez and Lola Vice. Heck of a matchup. And the two youngsters, Perez and Jordan, ended up picking up the victory, but Ariana Grace interrupts the four ladies. So he made the best team win, and then after the match, she was announcing the winners, and starts running her mouth, and then Cameron Petrovic blindsided her and told her to shut up. That's mixed NXT. Oh boy. Anyways, Joe Gacy addresses his state of mind. He says he knows what to do. What is exactly what he needs to do? We'll eventually find out. Ilya Dragunov addresses his matchup against Carmelo Hayes at Halloween Havoc. This is a reminder. This is the Halloween Havoc Fallout. Just to let you know. And now he says he's Corbin. Yeah, addresses Corbin. He says, "I'm going to defend my title. I'm going to come after you, and I'm going to beat you." That's Baron Corbin. That's Dragunov to Corbin. But he was watching the whole thing with Malik Blade, Idris Nofe, Hank Walker, and Tank Ledger warned him about what Ilya Dragunov says. That's why he won't go anywhere. And he started walking away. Meanwhile, Otis went one-on-one with Drew Gulak. Otis beat Drew Gulak. Meanwhile, Tiffany Stratton talked to Kiana James, and Kiana James congratulating her on winning. He said that we got to make sure that anybody new or established won't stand in our way. So both women got a mission on their minds. And then Tiffany Stratton goes, "I don't mind her." Then Chase U were talking about JC Jane received an envelope from members of the family, and so you make sure Mr. Chase gets that. So she looked and then and then Andre Chase says, "You shouldn't read people's mail. What's wrong with you?" And then Duke Hudson and Thea Hale walked in, and because they were talking about the rematch for the tag team titles next week, and then even dismissed Class, and you know, and then Thea Hale goes, "You want to go somewhere?" Yeah, Class has been canceled. Let's go. So they left, and then Andre Chase and JC Jane kind of looked at each other like, he knows something. So it's an interesting situation now. The men's Iron Survivor qualifier, Tyler Bate versus Dijak, and great matchup, but in the end, Dijak won, so he's in. Trick Williams arrives at the PC, going to get some answers from Carmelo Hayes, and like I said before, Legion will choose the next Iron Survivor qualifiers next week. And then Hayes calls out, Carmelo Hayes calls out Williams. Both were talking about the attack of Williams and who did it, and Williams had asked Mello if he was the one. But before he answers that, Lexis King came out and said you both want to do this. But Williams and Hayes both told him, mind your business, stay out of this. But since he decided to provoke Trick Williams, he accidentally hits Carmelo Hayes instead, and he tried to help Carmelo Hayes up. At first, Carmelo Hayes slaps him, and then he helps him up again, and they do that, and they hug. And it seems like, to me, there's something going on. We don't know who. We don't know what. We'll find out. We got more questions than answers, as Vic Joseph would say. So, that's all the time we have on the show, episode 987 of the show. You got to check out the brand new intro I made, and I just made it today. And I figured it's about time to get a new intro going. Brand new outro as well. So that's all there is. So until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. This concludes today's episode. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A big beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bova Telepictures and Distribution. See you next time on another episode of the show. Goodbye for now.